Hi everyone, so I'm going to be reacting to a couple videos here. One Shot TV's video where he shot a ballistic dummy with 30-06 to see if it was going to destroy it or just go clean right through or not that much damage, but I'm pretty sure it's obvious what's going to happen here. Let's watch it, and I'm going to pull up Valhalla VFT's video. He has some really good videos. Also, a few about Charlie Kirk. Obviously he hasn't did one in a while, but he has done one, and I want to show you guys both of these ones, so here we go. First, this is One Shot TV.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we are finally going to do a video I've been putting off for a while. If you watch the video, I'm sure you assumed that this was inevitably going to happen sooner or later. And yes, today we are finally going to test the 30-06 versus a human neck. Now, the elephant in the room is obviously this is what happened to Charlie Kirk. Right after the tragedy, I made a couple of videos on it, and I told you guys it was too recent. I didn't want to use ballistic dummies or nothing like that. So we shot pork shoulders, meat and bone, and every target that we shot, the result was exactly what most of us expected. The 30-06 just annihilated everything because it is a very powerful round. Well, a lot of time has passed since this event. I would say the water has gotten even muddier. The narratives are all over the place, and at this point, it seems like almost nobody is believing the official story. So today we are finally going to do probably the one and only test that's really going to prove this one way or another, and we are going to use a ballistic dummy lab human bust. Now, if you're not familiar with the human bust, it is the head, neck, shoulders. The only reason that I've decided to do this particular test is because in the necks of these ballistic dummies, there is no fluid or nothing that is
Destroyed. Yeah, easily destroyed.
Well, we definitely penetrated our water jugs, and I don't think this is gonna help to stop the conspiracy theories. His head fell off.
Yeah. Like, dude, come on. Like, if it was really a 30-06, why was there just only a little hole in Charlie's neck? That was it. There's no way that was a 30-06, okay? If this 30-06 is such a freaking big bullet and it can do that, then why was it such a little hole in Charlie's neck and it didn't just completely blow off everything in that area? Strange, because maybe it wasn't a 30-06. Wow. Absolutely destroyed.
All right, guys, I figured this is probably what would happen. I was trying to remain optimistic, but that right there is why people are skeptical on the official story. The 30-06 is a very hard round to stop. So we actually lost the top half of the vertebrae right there, and you can see the bullet hole.
Now let's go
going straight through it. So I imagine it was probably connected like that, and it just took a massive chunk right out of it. It also shifted.
So here's Valhalla VFT.
All right, here we go.
Destroyed.
With our cow femur. The damage to that.
So, yeah, completely destroyed. So let's go to the part where they are shooting it. That's the pumpkin part. So obviously, and then let's go over here.
Meat mass of a human neck.
Pretty much destroyed.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's the bone was going through there. Yeah, so as we can see,
This is cow meat, by the way.
the sheep shoulder blade.
Okay, that's sheep, but
30-06 basically
he shot some cow meat
ripped
also.
this entire thing in half, straight through, no bullet. Now we're going to attempt these beef vertebrae, which are, if you look at these things, incredibly thick.
Yeah,
2-3 inches thick at some of the bigger parts. Brian was telling me that butchers can use concrete saws to saw through this, so a little bit stronger than a human neck. We're gonna check that out next. All right, so here we go. Next test, cow neck vertebrae.
Destroyed. Pretty much in half, almost.
As you can see, the cow neck vertebrae stood no chance. Ripped in half, and as you can see, even clean through, damage straight through the cardboard.
See if they shoot
Again,
another
and you
one.
can see how thick this bone is, guys. It's almost
Yeah.
2-inch thick. Straight through.
That is pretty freaking
No
big,
problem.
and it destroyed
This
that
is
part.
a
so let's go over here.
cow femur. Let's give it a shot.
We're gonna be shooting a cow femur. Wow, the freaking thing is massive, and it disappeared.
Yeah, that's
There
okay.
you go. Maybe I did miss.
Wow. Just absolutely destroyed. That is a massive bone, dude.
All right, so let's see the damage. It's literally in pieces.
Wow.
So here you go.
Absolutely destroyed.
Where Brian hit that directly in the center, literally exploded that cow femur in half, blew straight through. Cow femur, 30-06 round.
Yeah.
Now think about a human neck. Okay, but we're gonna up
And
the
the
ante
human neck is
even more.
actually weaker than all the bones in the animals, usually. Usually the animals have stronger bones than the humans, so that just makes it seem even more odd that they say a 30-06 took out Charlie.
Now, we're not only gonna take a cow femur, but for anybody that says, "Wow, there's no meat," we're gonna slap on a fat 4 inches of beef in front of the cow femur and see what happens.
And then give him thick skin like Nate.
All right, last test on the meat. Again, cow femur, bunch of beef, thick tape, and then we're gonna move up to the steel. Here we go.
Wow, dude. Knocked down the camera.
Well, we can't. Everything exploded. All right, let's check it out.
Just absolutely destroyed again. Camera falls down too.
All right, so let's take a look at the crime scene. As you see, the entire thing exploded.
Yeah.
Camera got knocked
Holy
down.
crap, dude.
Blew through this, as you can see. All right, here we go.
Meat everywhere.
Here's our cow femur.
Pretty much in half.
Damage to that. Literally snapped in half, and then
Yeah.
our neck that we built, that was nice, solid, thick, 4 or 5 inches of meat, absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, easily.
So, yeah. So yeah, next we're gonna test the steel theory. So we're gonna actually shoot steel and see what happens. All right, guys, now we're gonna
Wow.
test literal steel. 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch steel. Let's see what it can do.
Did it go right through?
You hit it?
Wow.
All right, so let's check out what 30-06 did to literal steel here. We have our, and thank God we got an actual competition shooter here to hit this 2-inch by 2-inch plate from 100 yards, which I probably wouldn't have been able to.
No way,
Clean
man.
through 1/4 inch steel, clean through 3/8 inch steel, and 1/2 inch steel. Almost, or actually, it potentially did actually blow out the side of that. So,
It was no Man of Steel, that is for sure.
guys, final thoughts. Literally nothing we brought out here today could stop a 30-06 round.
No.
Literal steel can't stop a 30-06 round. So, actually, the whole Man of Steel argument
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense, does it? So, we just wanted to bring this one to you guys, show you what a 30-06 round can really do.
Yep, really good debunking that one. So let's go on to the next one. Talks about ammo types and the 30-06. So let's listen.
First, and we'll get into grain weights and some other different things, see if we can get a combination of all these things to make it work. But first, of course, your full metal jacket, 30-06 round, your
Pretty big
standard
bullet.
round. All right, your typical 30-06 round here. It's typically going to be used for target shooting, practice, things like that. You definitely can use it for hunting if you needed to. But this is a round that's just, again, designed to enter the body, mushroom out, create damage, and would be one you would likely find in the event, like if you were to shoot a moose or something like that, and it
Wow,
came off the
yeah.
moose's scapula or something like that,
So
you'd
if,
actually...
so if it can go through hundreds of pounds of moose, which moose are insanely freaking big and huge, and they weigh so much pounds, so then you would think it would easily go through a human, right? But that's not what these people are saying. They're saying that it was a 30-06 that went through his neck. He was a man of steel. Look, it's just not possible, okay? If it was really a 30-06, then it would have just blew off a bunch of parts of his neck, dude. There's no way that was a 30-06.
We find the entire round still in the body, rather than having it fragment all over the place or disintegrate like some of the rounds we're going to talk about next. All right, next is your soft point round. I've seen some people think this
Still
could be the
bullet.
answer. I got a whole bunch of them right here. This is actually your typical hunting round that you're going to use. Okay, so soft point rounds is actually probably the least likely of the rounds to be used to have not caused any extra damage or no exit wound or things like that. And here's why. All right, so what a soft point round does, it's actually designed to create an even bigger mushroom on that round to create even more damage and even bigger exit wound would be expected, right? So it says here, first, it enables the bullet to carve a slightly wider entry wound into the animal. Second, it physically secures the copper alloy jacket to its solid core, so it's going to stay together. It's not going to fragment all over the place. And once the soft point's tip meets the resistance from soft tissue, it flattens down to inflict a wound column significantly wider than a 308 or a regular full metal jacket round. Okay, so those are the two easy that we can throw out first. The likelihood of a full metal jacket round, soft point round, regular round information that a bullet was found that came in, according to, again, Turning Point USA, who I would assume isn't going to lie about this, that bullet came in, hit the C2, crashed through all of these vertebrae, and then lodged into the body here. And that bullet was completely found here. Well, like we just saw on the description of the ammo, the frangible round is designed to essentially disintegrate when it hits something hard. What a frangible round is not going to do is hit this neck vertebrae, blast through 6 more vertebrae all the way down here, and then just be fully intact. It would have already disintegrated essentially into the body or fragmented all over the place. So if it is true that this round, again, hit a neck and crashed through a bunch of bone and the whole thing lodged completely intact inside Charlie's body, it could not have been a frangible round. All right, the next one's very, very interesting. I've seen some people start to talk about this, and that is the idea it may have been a 30-06 safety slug. Let's take a look at this one. All right, so yes, the safety slug. This one's very, very interesting. Okay, as you can see here, a little bit lower grain weight. But the entire idea of this round is it's basically an urban combat round. So it's designed to not penetrate through hard things like walls or different things like that to hit innocent bystanders. So, that's very interesting. Could that explain the wound to Charlie? Well, as you can see in the description here, the numerous projectiles dispersed outward generate an effective wound cavity. This load reduces the possibility of overpenetration. Okay. Through the intended target. It provides for an added margin of safety. A missed round is much more likely to break up on an interior wall and dump its energy rather than proceeding unabated into an adjoining room.
Well, that's the beat for this video, guys. I just want to watch those videos and just look at it and just kind of prove why it wasn't a 30-06 to hit Charlie. Look, you guys can believe whatever you want, but if you just really look at it and you watch these videos of a 30-06 hitting ballistic dummies, meat like Valhalla shot, and then the ballistic dummy like one-shot TV shot, it just pretty much proves why it wasn't a 30-06 to hit Charlie. It's not possible, okay? So that's all for today, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you guys enjoyed my videos and my content, hit the subscribe button. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.